if you don't see change in your life, if you don't see change in your life, I repeat, if you don't see change in your life, where are you looking in your life? Because if you don't see change in your life, the ultimate question is, what have you been doing with your life? Because it happened inside before it happened out. That's the law. See? And that question ain't gonna feel heavy to those who have been making internal shifts in accordance with the external shifts that's occurring, because there's a lot going on, you know. But that question may feel like a brick to those who haven't. You hear me? So salute to everybody who been doing the inner work. You hear me? And before we go any further, we're gonna acknowledge your ancestors through song. You heard?
I like that high endurance cigar, the spirits rise. Smoke curling like ancestors whispering in the skies. Dr. said be in my left ear saying heal from inside. This ain't no new land, we the ones that try to deny. Before Columbus ever dreamed the ship steered, we was building mountains, doing rituals with no fear. From Yucatan to Galveston, New Orleans here. That's the triangle of soul, boy, the map ain't clear. Second lines ain't parades, that's ancestral rights. Tambourines and feathers under full moonlight.
We ain't immigrants now, we the original man.
Built pyramids and bone flutes before
We're on to flight.
Top cat said it loud.
Stop begging for permission.
Our culture ain't missing.
It's just deep in tradition.
We ain't African
Cause they told us we remember the mission.
The land speaks Creole,
So cool intuition.
we been here through the blood and the drum, through the heavens.
The chance and the kiss of the sun. Smoke rise from the leaves and we call to the sky. And the ancestors rhythm we never
Die.
We been here. Oh yeah, we been way before they know their lives.
We still here.
It's a whole lot of this we did some. My hands if the truth to the pain and the
Granny sat me down.
roll some slow.
Said when you puff,
Get thanks and let the cosmos know.
I inhaled the jungle.
And the hell of flow.
Spitting stories
That the textbook still scared to show. Godly like a torch with ancient rites.
aromas like
Prayers to the Orishas at night.
New Orleans ain't a
Torch tail is black divine. Jazz horn spend time in spiritual line. Forget Columbus.
We was dancing the stars.
Train turquoise.
Driven closer to bars.
Drums talking cold. Spirit moving cars. Past the 100, stretch behind the stars.
From Congo
Go square with
Trammy porches.
we built this.
Land no need for endorsements.
The Mardi Gras bees ain't just
For the gold, that's
so lonely, homie. We was gods before.
we been here through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants,
Yeah.
and the kiss of the sun.
Feel it.
Rise from the league, yeah, we talk to the sky, and the ancestors' rhythm, we never
Come on.
die. We been here, oh yeah, we been here,
Way before they wrote their lies.
still here. It's our
But now that's what did so.
here. I'm singing truth through the pain, and it's here through the blood and the drum, through the elders, the chants, and the kiss of the sun.
Smoke rise from the leaves and we call to the sky. In the ancestors' rhythm we never what?
We been here, oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still here.
This is home. That's me. Yeah.
James singing truth through the pain and the tears. We been here.
Oh yeah, we been here.
Way before they wrote their lives, we still here. This our home, not a place we disappear. James singing truth through the pain and the tears.
We been here. Oh yeah, we been here. Way before they wrote their lives, we still here. It's a home now unless we disappear. You hear me? Yes, it's up to you. It's up to you. Each and every one of us hold that accountability. Each and every one of us hold that responsibility. Each and one of us hold that obligation. If to nothing or nobody else, to ourselves. And if we hold that accountability to ourselves, if we hold that responsibility to ourselves, if we hold if we hold that obligation within ourselves, then we hold it for everything we come from, everything that will come from us, and everything around us. You see, it's up to you to be the proof that deep and real transformation exists. That's why I'm here. Because it's my part in it. It's my part in the participation. You see, that I agreed to by being here. So this is the part that's up to me. You know? Yeah, true growth, true transformation will never allow us to return to the way that we once were. True growth and true transformation will never allow us to return to the way that we once were. If it's real, it stay put. How could we? What do we got to return back to? Huh? Cause everything that was under the rug, we swept from up under there. Jack, walk with me. Everything that was up under the rug, everything that was in the corners, everything that was in the cracks and the crevices, you know, on the windowsills. Y'all walk with me, cause I'm talking metaphorically, yet realistically, you know. Everything was in the places that we forget about, you see, and dust build up, you know, and you know insects may find a home, you know, because we don't visit them places, them cracks and them crevices often, you know. But we did. We spent all 2025 visiting the cracks, visiting the crevices, visiting the forgotten and hidden places within ourselves, you know, and bringing all that stuff up to the surface. And those of us who didn't do it intentionally, guess what? It's happening unintentionally. It's coming up on its own, you know, for you to put your magnifying glass on it, for you to put your spotlight on it, you know, as it pertains to you and whatever you're dealing with in your right now. You hear me? Because everybody dealing with something. Everybody just may not be dealing with whatever they're dealing with in the same way and from the same space, you know, so it won't feel the same way. You hear me? And that's the beautiful thing about it. You hear me? That's in a lot of ways, on a lot of levels, and in a lot of layers. That's the beautiful thing about it. That everybody get to experience their experience for themselves, and whatever we experience in our experience, you see, really don't have no totality on what somebody else may be experiencing in theirs. Because according to certain, you know, certain people belief systems, this, that, and the other, you know, if you don't believe as they believe, then according to their beliefs, you know, you going to hell, this, that, and the other. The whole time, them people who believe them type of ways, not realizing that the hell that they trying to condemn somebody to is the hell that they still yet to deal with and walk through within themselves. You hear me? So it's easy to project our belief systems on others. So we want to be mindful of that, whatever it is that we may believe, you know, in contrast to common sense and that which we know. Stay with me. You heard? But and all we know, if we wise, it is of great importance to stay away, to stay focused and whatever we doing to move forward, because forward is the only direction that don't hurt. And as I was saying, true growth and true transformation will never allow us to return back to the way that we once were. The Bible has a scripture that says something about a dog returning back to his vomit. You see, and we ain't no dog, and we definitely ain't trying to return back to, you know, the mess that we already came up out of. because we don't outgrown the version of ourselves that live from the emotional development based off of who we used to be. Stay with me. See, we don't live from that place based off who we used to be. The emotional place, check, keyword, emotional place of who we used to be, because we don't triumph, and all we don't experience is not what we don't experience that I want to magnify. I want to magnify all that we have triumphed, all that we have been victorious over because of what we had to go through. We don't give on, because I don't think we give ourselves enough credit for that. We give all the credit to, man, I've been through this, or girl, you know what I'm going through, but we don't give ourselves enough credit to how victorious we already been for what we have been through. You see, so we can see how easy it is, to get through what may be popping up in our right now. Somebody may need to hear that. We if you here right now, you're victorious. If you here right now, you have been triumphant. So it's some gratitude that can be showed. It's some gratitude that can be given. Just for this day. I don't care what occurred yesterday. And I don't care what occurred today. That was of uncomfort. You still got your sanity. You see, that's something to be grateful for. Because every day is an accomplishment. That don't mean every day gonna be easy, but every day is accomplishment. And just riding, just being able to wake up is the greatest accomplishment of all. So I want to remind us of that. Because it's easy to get caught up in the what's going on or things that's going on. And not see how we already above it and beyond it. If we ain't allowed ourselves to get caught up in it. So yeah, focus is important. Gratitude is important. Ain't no time like right now to stop taking life for granted. Ain't no time like right now to stop taking our experiences for granted. Ain't no time like right now to stop taking the people in our life for granted. And be grateful, be in gratitude for the good, the bad, and the indifference of all that has occurred, and the lessons that we have gained by all that has occurred. And I say that because the shift don't. Many people caught in the internet. Many people caught up in the internet looking for their shift, but the shift don't occur on the internet. The shift don't begin on the internet. The shift gonna begin in you, and the shift gonna begin in your mind. and the shift gonna begin in your heart, and the spirit and the soul of your being. I don't know who need to hear that, but the internet ain't the place that we look for what we looking for, because most people on the internet still looking for it themselves. If they ain't figured out that what they looking for is oneself. You hear me? What else they want me to say? Out of change may take time. Out of change may take time. For anybody who, man, this don't happen overnight. Trust me. I've been on this journey a long time, and this don't happen overnight. And sometimes it can cause us to get discouraged. It could cause us to feel displaced. It could cause us to feel out of touch, out of sync. It could cause us to it could cause us to feel that in all we've been doing right, we ain't been doing something right. And a lot of times that's not the case. Out of change, sometimes out of change take time to collapse and to collapse, collide and integrate with the internal reality that we don't establish within ourselves. I don't know who need to hear that. Out of change may take time. Be patient with yourself, And for those of us who may come across this message who looking for outer change, but struggling with some inner things, you could change your mind in an instant to change the frequency about the experience being had. You could change your mind in an instant, because especially if you ain't feeling if you ain't feeling your normal, and your normal and our normal is feeling good. We could put any other word other than that, but our normal is just feeling good. And feeling good don't need anything to stimulate it. It don't need nothing external to stimulate it. Feeling good is a natural frequency, or at least to me it should be. In my mind it is. It's a natural frequency. Just like love is a natural frequency. Fun, that's a natural frequency. You see? Yeah, I'm using words, but these words are frequencies. They hold frequency. You see? So we focus on the frequency behind the words that we use. It'll show us a lot about what we be either pulling into our reality, or attracting into our reality, or repelling in our reality. You see? And we're going to have to weigh that for ourselves. You see? Because we're going to have to know our own situations, to see how that's going to apply in our situation. But feelings follow the mind. I say that to say feelings follow the mind. And from my observation, ain't no better time than right now to be aligning, integrating with higher frequencies, regardless of the gradual process, that come with it, because it's better to be doing something that's uplifting. It's better to be doing something that's positive. It's better to be doing something that's in the upward direction, you see, than anything that we've been used to. If we on the path of self growth, if we're on the journey of self growth, inner work, anything in that nature, in the field of fields, But I speak on these things because many times we have a tendency to open spiritual doors. We don't have the tools needed once it's open. That's important right now. At the closing of the year, man, and it ain't no, and it ain't no veil. That's the urgency in saying what I'm speaking to right now. It ain't no veil. You're gonna hear people say the veil is thin, this and that. It ain't no veil. It ain't no veil. It ain't no veil. It ain't no veil just because you can't see behind it. If you don't see behind it, and that's just to make a point for anybody who didn't understand. It ain't no veil. Otherwise, it ain't no veil. Not if somebody can see behind it, It's just those who can't see can't see or have a spiritual odyssey. Cause it ain't like you got to pierce beyond nowhere where else to see. It's shit all around us in movement all the time. That people just unconscious of and unconscious too. Yeah. And some are very attuned, tapped in and turned on with it. You hear me? But yeah, we want to be aware that we don't want to open no doors that we're not ready to walk through. And I know in this, in this Aquarian age and all the spiritual information that is available, on the internet, it's easy to get into things that we don't have no without tutelage and mentorship to know what we're getting ourselves into. And a lot of times we'll get ourselves into situations that we don't know how to get ourselves out of, and it'll have us going through some things, so we want to be aware of that and be mindful of that and take time on our journey wherever we at on it. You hear me? You're not here to be on nobody else's level. You only here to find completion in yourself, according to whatever you came here to complete. And everybody ain't come here to complete the same thing. So a lot of times, in a lot of cases, we'll end up, going on a detour too, because we don't know, because we're not connected to, what our soul came here to do. So it's a process. It's a journey, and it comes through having an established relationship with ourselves, self-love, self-discipline, positive self-talk, even through the worst times. I'm just gonna speak to some things. Self-encouragement, self-motivation, because it may not come from it may not come from outside, and if you building yourself up, you don't expect it to. Self-inspiration, it may not come from outside, and if you building yourself up, you don't expect it to. You see? I just wanted to speak to some things, man. And all your victories don't need to be announced. For whoever need to hear that, not every victory needs to be announced, and not every struggle needs to be shared. In other words, be careful who you share your journey with. You hear me? Because you don't want to be sharing your journey. You don't want to have nobody on your boat that as soon as you turn your back, they poking a hole in it. Message. You hear me? For whoever needed to hear that. I started last video off with, do we think it's a good time to be alive? And if so, why? I don't really recall anybody answering the question, but so I'm gonna say this: if you are here now, it's a good time to be alive. And all of us who are here now, meant to be. You hear me? So with all you have learned, let wisdom be your greatest ally. You hear me? Feel good for no reason at all. OCO to my Indians. BCU. Cosmic Conscious Family and Soul Tribe. What it do? Thanks for the like. Share if you haven't liked the video by now. Like the video. Feel free to share the video. You hear me? I don't mind moving around. You hear me? So forth and so on, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all know what it do. I'm known as Sawu. Be you how you be you. You hear me?